talking about what we're going to set. Got the master plan. Theo Bossman is going to set a 3. I'm going to set level 2. Level 2. And now we got to go pick some holds. The best way to describe the start of a boulder is just like sketching a draft. You'll put your framework up and you'll almost have to rub out the lines and draw them again. You'll then assess it again, maybe rub out a few more, draw them again until you finally get a clearer picture and things start to look right. So we're going for level 2. So that's not beginners, but we're still being friendly. We're still encouraging people to work through our levels. There is an expectation for them to be challenged. That's why we're here. Based on the vert wall we're on, this is a great chance to teach barn doors, positioning, sequencing. It doesn't have to be too powerful. So I'll throw a draft up and we'll see where we go from there. I might start with the most positive hold because that's what the problem is going to work about, aka the biggest hold. Now, one of the most basic concepts in climbing is the direction at which we pull on the holds. Now, since one side is dual texture, that means you can't use that side. So we can use that to our advantage and create a problem that teaches directional pulling on holds. Oh, this is just like classic setting. So the lesson here will be to move past the hold before using one that's in front of your face, aka correct sequencing. If somebody tries to use this before they've moved their body into the correct position, they won't be able to apply the force. And so we've got a good hold that we'll come to. We'll move past it so that we can use this hold to then move towards the top. Now that I've got a framework for the main concept, the question is, how do we enter it and how do we exit it? So as I set, I'm constantly making judgments. Am I using the appropriate hold at the appropriate time? You know, I feel that. Is it too good? Is it too bad? Again, we make judgments. If that's too bad, I can make the foot better. Is that the right way round? Could I flip them? We won't make that yet. We'll put a few more on and then maybe we'll swap a few rounds so they all feel like they're in the right place. Now, a lame problem is when you don't use a hold fully. These holds are quite long. So if you use a long hold but only use a bit of it, that's quite boring. That's why I've used a small hold for when you just grab it with one hand, a large hold for when you match it. You know, they're all tuned to their purpose. And then visually, it looks correct as well. You're leaving the right breadcrumbs for the climber to follow. You know, if you put a big hold on, but you only use it once, that's a waste. Like, why did you do that? That's incorrect judgment. And so my plan is out flip, out to a pocket. I'll then roll over, match it, and then move on. Therefore, every hold has been used to its most. The feet are correctly chosen. They're the correct size, correct orientation. You know, as you fine tune it and make those adjustments, you're creating opportunities for the climber to fall off, for them to learn. And that's the 270 experience. Like, we're here to make you better at climbing. Right, we're swapping grades now. I've made an assessment. This is a great opportunity for a level 3 climber. I could make it a level 2, but in filming this, I've made it really interesting, and now it's a level 3. Theo's got the shorter bit of wall, so now he's going to set the 2.
Right, so I'm going for trying to get a little rock over first move, slip, and up, under, and then out. I want a little step through here, so sort of 1 foot there, and smear onto the bad bit, and quickly out to here. And yeah, I'll probably go into that, try and got a big one here, so I want to try and get that one somewhere, or a bit higher up, where you can probably match it, and sort of go back across the route. So it's level 2, sort of mainly because the movement's a little bit more complex than you get on a level 1, sort of more sequence in it. And Yeah, because the wall's a bit less short, so it should be a little bit easier. And yeah, it should be. All the holes are quite positive, so it shouldn't be too hard. And yeah, hopefully we'll end up quite right. So the holes are all quite good, which should make it sort of more of a level 2, not 3. And sort of there's more sequence than you get at level 1. So sort of, you might not get first go. It's not like left, right. You got to think about it.
Theo, you've set your block. Now this is, as a new setter, this can sometimes be the uncomfortable bit. Like at 270, we keep the standards high, and whatever finishes on the wall has to be a good standard. And when you're an apprentice, it's really hard to meet those standards. But it's great to have the opportunity for Theo to try. We'll ask questions, why did you do this, why not this, how about this? He might try again. Then when we test, I might just step in and do some things, but it still gives him the opportunity to learn. What I would assess is, have you used your holds to your best advantage? You know, you've got some really interesting grips on the floor, why aren't they on the wall? Yeah. Like you've started the route on a foothold, kind of. It's not very comfortable. Whereas there we've got a beautiful long rail, juggy, so nice. You know, you got 2 crimps, which is cool, but we could have filled the space a bit more with some of these big pockets. I can also tell by sequencing it in my head that the positioning is not in line with 270 values. And some of the values are inclusivity for different heights, you know, correct foot placement. If the climber's going to plant their feet in the correct place, we need to set them in the right place. I can see that one of the footholds is out beyond the base, so you can't use your feet to push up. That means it's more physical. You know, we want people to be strong, but we want people to climb well. And so we might need to move a few feet. There's no foot to finish on. Maybe some of the spacing is a bit off. So you go up. Yeah, it's good that you use the volume. You go into this. You can just lank it. That's a bit awkward because all the weight for a level 2 climber is on that crimp. If the foot was further out, you could keep your weight on the foot as you go out. Maybe you wanted to step through, but it's a bit contortionist. You know, that's the better sequence. Then we build back up. Yeah, that's nice. And now there's just not many feet. Now I can do that, but a small climber can't, and so we're not being inclusive.
Right, so I'm going to test out Ben's route, level 3 red tag. So, give it a go. Right, start here. Heads up. Nice. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like how you got to move across before you use your feet, make you read it a bit more. And yeah, pretty good. Alright, so now I'm testing the pink. Made a few changes since last time. So I tried to get more of the bigger holds on to make better use. Moved it over to the left to use the volumes a bit more. And yeah, I think that's about it. May change the feet around here a bit. And then yeah, I'll give it a go, see if it works. Alright. Nice, yeah. Definitely better than before. And yeah, I don't think there's any like obvious breaks. You might be able to like go like that, but I think it'd be a bit harder if you like go into it like this. It's sort of more tiring, so it sort of encourages you to go under first. And yeah, that's alright, yeah.